Hello, my name is Contover, and this is the Current Buzz. Today we have Lieutenant Colonel Charles McCarthy here with us, Jr., I should say. He's a 3/10th Captain of Commanding, and we'll explain that to you. He's a member of the Ancient and Honorable Artillery Company of Massachusetts. You probably never heard of it, and we're going to open it up. It's one of the best kept secrets in Massachusetts, and maybe you may want to become a member of it. That's why he's here. He's recruiting more or less, and he was in Vietnam with the Marine Corps and did some time with the Army. Is that my understanding of it?
Yes, after Vietnam.
Okay, explain to the viewers what the Ancient and Honorable Artillery Company of Massachusetts. I've been familiar with it for years. At one time I lived in Boston, and I know you're located at Faneuil Hall on the 4th floor, and you could explain
sure.
And have people come and visit you. It's open to the public, it's free.
Yes, it is. Yeah, the Ancient and Honorable Artillery Company of Massachusetts was formed in 1636. Governor Winthrop of the Mass Bay Colony decided that they needed to protect Boston from unsavory characters and Indians. So the Ancient and Honorable Artillery Company petitioned the governor to form the Honorable Artillery Company of Massachusetts. Now, their sister company is the Honorable Artillery Company of London. So if you go back to history of 1636, most of the inhabitants were from the England area, and they duplicated what they had in London. The London Artillery Company, it was 550 years older than the Ancients. So we were formed in 1636.
Right.
Our second sister company is the Pontificate Guards at the Vatican.
Oh, wow, okay.
That forms
the Swiss Guard, more or less.
Guard.
Yeah, right.
So
okay.
the Ancients, the Honorable Artillery Company of London, and the Swiss Guards of the Vatican formed the three oldest organized militia military in the world. We are the oldest chartered military organization in the Western Hemisphere. The
Western Hemisphere or just North America?
Western Hemisphere.
Oh, Western
yes.
Hemisphere. Okay.
So we're in Faneuil Hall at the 4th floor.
Okay.
We've been there since they built Faneuil Hall in 1742, and we took full occupancy in 1745. Prior to that, we were at the old State House.
Right.
And in 1745, Peter Faneuil donated the top floor to the militia of Massachusetts. And at that time, there was 7 or 8 different militias. So when you come to the Faneuil Hall Museum, which is one of the best kept secrets in Massachusetts, and it is free,
right, yeah.
And people do come up, you'll see 7 doors that now are display doors. Those 7 doors house the militia of Massachusetts. Only one militia survived, and that was the Ancient and Honorable Artillery Company. So 1636, we've been meeting in Faneuil Hall since 1745.
So if you're at Faneuil Hall and you've been there 100 times, now is the time to go to Faneuil Hall, the 4th floor, for you to visit.
Free museum.
Free museum.
If you want to see history, military history of, we're called the Ancient and Honorable Artillery Company. And what is artillery? Today we think that those are big guns. Well, artillery in those days, and back in the old 1600 days, was a rifle. And it took 2 people to hold it because it was so heavy. It was made out of lead.
Oh, wow.
That's why it's called artillery.
Wow,
so it really
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so it really is not that we were an artillery unit.
Right.
It's just that our rifles were too heavy to carry by an individual.
Okay.
So, but the museum has artifacts from 1636 on through today. We've had 4 presidents as members, Monroe, Arthur, Coolidge, and Kennedy. And we're going to the White House in a few weeks, and we'll talk about that a little bit later, and we're going to try to sign up our 5th president.
Oh, he'll love that.
Yeah, sure.
Oh.
But we've also have 14 Medal of Honor recipients as members.
Okay.
And and we have them visit all the time. We support them in Boston when they come in for their conventions.
Now, the Medal of Honor winner from Concord, who recently passed away,
Tom Hudner.
Yeah. They're dedicating a ship to him in December.
Yes.
And you're going to be on the honor guard?
Yes, I'm on the ship. I'm on the honor guard. We have donated to the Navy a cannon. So we actually bought a cannon.
A small cannon.
A small cannon.
Yeah. Right.
That the Navy today doesn't have cannons that fire back gun salutes.
Oh,
so
okay.
As the Hudner ship comes into Boston Harbor on the South Boston Point, they're going to have artillery bringing them in, and they do a 21-gun salute.
Right.
Well, the Navy should be saluting back. We bought the cannon for the Navy to salute back.
Oh, okay.
So I'll be on the Navy ship coming in, the Hudner, coming in the harbor.
Okay, for people who want to know and want to go there, what do they have to do? I mean,
well, they go.
It's
to,
open. It's open.
It's
to
open
the
to the public. If you want to get on the ship or have a tour of the ship, you go to the Thomas Hudner website. Just Google Thomas Hudner, Boston Commissioning, and you can apply for tickets.
Yeah, and it's this December, I think,
It's
right?
the first week of December. I think it's December 6th.
It's going to be kind of cool, but
it will be cool, but hopefully good weather.
Yeah,
Let's hope so.
hopefully,
Yeah. Tom was a great guy.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he passed away. He was a member for many years, and he was just like you and me, just a gracious, wonderful person.
Right.
And the company went down to Arlington National Cemetery and buried him in full honors.
Chuck, who can become members, and how many? Do you have to be former active duty? In other words, doing federal time, or can it be civilians that can be members?
Well, federal time means a lot of things, but you know, 60% of our members are were active duty members for all branches of the service. We do have 40% of our members who are not active members, but they still wear uniform just like we do. They just don't wear their federal ribbons or federal awards.
Right.
But we also have women. 5 years ago, we elected our first.
Finally.
It took a long time since 1636, but we elected into the company 3 lieutenant colonels from the National Guard.
Right.
This year we have a sergeant from the National Guard who is the first sergeant within holds an office within the organization.
Oh, I see.
First time ever.
I see.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. Do you have any minorities, African Americans or Latinos?
Yeah, we actually do. The just retired Sergeant Major of the National Guard, Ramos, is now one of our sergeants. One of our famous African Americans is Woody Woodhouse, who is a Tuskegon pilot, a colonel.
That's right.
From the Tuskegon pilots. Right. And he will be coming to Arlington Cemetery to lay a wreath. He's one of the 3 that will be laying a wreath with me in 2 weeks.
Oh, okay.
So we're all excited about that.
Wow.
So Woody's 93, still active. He can run rings around you and I, and we're very excited to have him as a member. And we have other African American. Matter of fact, Willie Gross, who's the commissioner of the Boston Police, the new commissioner.
The new commissioner, right?
Yeah, he's a member of our organization.
Right. What are the fees involved in
Well, it's a little expensive.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like the Masons at $10 or whatever, $35.
I thought it was $75.
Yeah, well, they've gone up. So it's about $850 a year. And then we have many events during the year. Some are co-ed with our wives or significant others. And each of those events you pay for. So it gets to be very expensive. And once a year we go on a fall field day tour of duty. Now we're going on September 27th through October 6th to Washington, D.C. And this is the first time in many years that we're in the United States, because we go all over the world.
Right.
We're ambassadors of the United States, and when we do that, and we lay wreaths and monuments to fallen heroes of all of the wars, World War I, World II, Korea.
Now, when you go to a foreign nation, do they present their honor guard and everything? I mean,
oh, they do, because one of the first things we always do is lay a wreath at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. Right. And we invite our ambassadors, and we usually have dinner with the president of the prime minister of that country.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And they join us for ceremonies. Remember, we're ambassador status when we travel. So we're just like a 4-star general, in other words.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So do you have diplomatic passports?
No, we don't. We don't have that, but we do get some preferential treatment because the Ancient Honorable Artillery Company is well known around the world as the oldest organized militia in the United States.
Do you fly with the uniforms?
We fly in what we call our business uniform, which is a blazer like you're wearing, a white shirt, a company tie, and gray slacks.
Right.
We travel in that uniform.
So it's uniformity.
Yeah. This uniform is we call this the summer uniform, which is a lightweight shirt.
Right.
We will change on October 1st to our parade uniform, which is a jacket with white shirt and tie. And it's a form of military based upon the Army. Uniform concept.
I see. Explain the June 1st ceremony and
when Robert Keynes, the first captain commanding of the Ancient Honorable, petitioned Governor Winthrop to form the Ancients, they designated the first Monday in June as Ancient Day. We call that our drumhead election day, where you go to the Common and on a drumhead you lay the ballots of people who are running for second lieutenant, first lieutenant, and captain commanding, and 12 sergeants. Now, that ceremony has been happening since 1636. The governor comes down
Wow.
and accepts the resignation of the current second, first, and captain, and 12 sergeants, and swears in the next 12 sergeants, second lieutenant, first lieutenant, and captain. To make captain commanding, it's a 5-year process. You start as running for elections as second
Wow.
lieutenant. And it's very expensive to run as a second lieutenant because you have to run parties and you have to do a lot of mailings. And but if you get elected, if you're lucky to be elected, 5 years later you become the captain commanding. So you spend a year learning on the second lieutenant, then you're off a year, then you spend a year as first lieutenant, off a year, and then you're captain commanding. In that time, you form your fall field day tour of duty, where you're going. And as an example, I chose Washington because I'm trying to get more press for the ancients.
All right, good point.
And it's a very good point. And we're better than our nation's capital with all of our history. And what's really interesting about it is that I started planning that 3.5 years ago.
Wow.
Well, I've been in the process of communicating, and it takes a lot of work because as we go through what the Fall Field Day tour of duty will be, you'll see that we're at the White House and we're at the Senate and we're at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier.
So you didn't know who was going to be elected, but you knew you were going to Washington, D.C. 3 years out.
I knew 5 years
Oh, 5
out.
years. Okay.
But you really can't start communicating and planning until 3 years out.
Right.
And,
Okay.
and some people don't want to talk to you unless you're 6 months out.
Right.
So, you know,
So-
as an example, the White House only got solidified on Friday.
Oh, wow.
You know,
Good
I
for you.
started that 2 years ago.
Wow.
You know,
Wow.
takes a long time.
Yeah. So are you going to have dinner with the president? Or?
Oh, no, I don't think we're going to have dinner. We're going in the White House. We are being hosted, which is a little bit different.
Okay.
Hosted means you have a escort.
Okay.
And our escort was probably General Kelly, because he's a Boston boy and he's been with the ancients a couple of times.
Okay.
He knows who we are.
All right.
We're being escorted into the West Wing. You know, the West Wing is where the Oval Office is.
Right.
And we expect a meet and greet with the president.
I see.
So my job is to sign the president up as the next president.
He has to fill out this application? that I have
No,
here?
you're not going to make him fill that out. We're going to do an honorary one. So we'll have a certificate there, which we give all members.
Oh, okay.
That already has his name on it. If he says yes, we'll snap a photo.
Oh, he'll definitely say yes.
I think he'll say yes. You know, why not?
Yeah.
There's no heavy lifting on that one.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
No.
That's a piece of cake. They'll probably sign an executive order or
Oh
something
my
like
God, that's funny.
You know?
We'll go there in uniform. We'll be in our parade uniform, our winter uniform, not this one,
Right.
but our formal winter uniform. But we hold a banquet on Tuesday night where we have a guest speaker. And our guest speaker is the former Commandant of the Marine Corps, Richard Dean, 4-star general. He's
Right.
coming in to talk about Vietnam, believe it or not.
Oh, wow.
His experience there. And we have
that.
Congressman.
Was he in Vietnam?
Yes, he was, yeah.
So he must be one of the few that is. Is he
He's
retired?
He's retired
Oh,
now.
he's retired.
He's retired, yes,
Yeah,
a
'cause
couple of years ago.
I didn't think there was anybody
No.
active duty. Okay.
No. And at the head table will probably be Keating, Congressman Keating, probably a couple, maybe.
From the Cape.
Yeah, from the Cape. Markey, Senator Markey, most likely will be there. We've extended invitations to quite a few. We'll have 2 3-star generals and a 2-star general from the Pentagon.
Oh,
Will be
okay.
there, Yeah.
No doubt.
We'll fill them up.
Yeah.
You know.
Now, how many people are going? Do you know? Or?
We have 125 people going on this trip, and that's normally what we have, anywhere from 100 to 150 people. I capped it at 125 because you can't get restaurants that could support more than 125.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Really, really.
Or you'll have to go to 2 different restaurants.
Or they put you upstairs, downstairs,
Yeah,
and that's
yeah.
not really good for camaraderie.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So how long are you going to be down in Washington?
We're down there 9 days, September 27th to October 6th.
Okay.
We start on Friday at the White House. And on Friday night, we're at a 3-star general from the Pentagon's house for dinner.
Oh,
which
wow.
he's a member. He's a member. 125.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, we had to pay, but it's
Now-
they don't pay. We pay.
Now, let me ask you a question. Are you going to have a blank certificates for some people who might want to join up?
Only the president will
only
have
the
one.
president.
Yeah. But the other ones would have to go through the application process.
So I could see him with the picture of the certificate in
Yes.
his hand with you there,
Yes.
standing.
That would be interesting.
Would be
Yeah,
interesting.
I think that it may happen.
Yeah.
On Saturday,
I know it's going to
Yeah.
happen. I mean,
I think so.
I think
On Saturday morning, we get up and go to the Disabled Veterans Memorial, lay a wreath.
Okay,
We
good
go to
for
the
you.
Masons Scottish Temple for lunch, and then we end up at the Vietnam Wall laying a wreath. That night, we go to the Army Navy Club for dinner. So
Wow.
it's very
yeah.
full. We have National Basilica on Sunday for church. Monday, we're at the Senate. The Senate is going to do a proclamation, Ancient Day. They're going to present us with a flag that flew over the Capitol. And in the ancient proclamation states that we're the oldest chartered military
Oh,
organization.
God, you have it in writing.
You have it in writing,
Yeah.
So we already have it in Chapter
Yeah,
33
yeah.
in Massachusetts, but it's really nice to be recognized by the Senate. And then we go on to Annapolis, and we go on to other very great events. Antietam, the largest casualties in the
Yeah,
Civil
right,
War.
Civil War. In fact,
46,000 in one day.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The highest
casualty
casualties
rate.
in one day for American forces.
46,000.
Yeah, 46.
Then we go on.
Was it 46,000
Yeah.
or 4,600?
46,000.
46,000.
Oh yeah, this is unbelievable.
Okay, yeah.
We lay a wreath there, and then we go on to Gettysburg and lay a wreath there.
Okay.
We'll be at the Pentagon for briefings and lay a wreath at the.
I love the Pentagon.
Yeah, I
I've
love
been
the
there.
Pentagon.
Yeah,
It's really interesting.
Yeah, interesting
yeah.
place. Let me ask you, where other places have you gone? I know you've been to Europe, Prague.
Yes, we have.
Did you go to Moscow?
Yes, we have. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, every year during the last week of September, first week of October,
Good time to
is
go.
the Fall Field Day tour of duty. We go somewhere in the world and lay wreaths of monuments. So we've been to, you name the country, we've been there. South America, in Europe, and Asia. China, we've been to China.
Wow.
We've been to Vietnam, Bangkok, Thailand. We've been to Belarus, Russia, St. Petersburg, Moscow. We were at Prague and Munich.
Beautiful city.
It's beautiful. It's a great walking city.
Yeah, it is. I love
and
Prague. You were telling me about the Prince
Well,
of
the
Prague?
Prince is from Boston. Believe it or
right?
not, when the Germans took over Czechoslovakia, the grandparents went to England, but the parents came to Boston, to Sudbury, and the children grew up here and went to Harvard and went back and petitioned the government, and they took back all their assets if they would use it as a museum and cultural center, and they did. We had lunch there with the Prince.
wow,
I brought him a Red Sox hat.
Oh, did you? Is
He
that right?
he liked
that's
that.
cool.
So we've been all over the world. We lay wreaths. We've been to Reykjavik up in Greenland,
Iceland.
Iceland, and laid a monument there for all of the merchant marines that didn't make it.
That's right,
so.
yeah.
So
'Cause we have an Air Force base up there. Do we still have that Air Force base?
I think
there?
we do. Thule, and it's not.
No, Thule's way up.
Oh,
in
way up. Okay.
Greenland, Yeah.
Well, next year we're going to Croatia.
Okay.
The year after that we'll be in Portugal and Barcelona, Spain.
Okay.
So we already have it planned out, and then the third year from now we'll be in New Zealand.
Oh wow,
And
that's
Scott
different.
Brown, the former,
Scott Brown,
he's
former
the ambassador. Yeah,
yeah.
they met 2 weeks ago in New Zealand and started to plan that.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. Yeah.
So here he is 3 years out or 4 years out, and he's planning
Yeah.
the trip now.
Wow. Wow, that's interesting. Yeah.
So I'm very excited to take him to this company to Washington.
Yeah.
This country is big. We haven't seen half of this country. We've been to Hawaii.
country.
It is a great country. We've been to Hawaii and San Diego with the Navy and the Air Force. We've been to Las Vegas and New Orleans. Those are the two spots in the last 50 years. But this is the first time we're actually getting exposure in Washington, D.C. And they've been opening doors for us, and it's very, very exciting.
And just in case you've tuned in, you're listening to Lieutenant Colonel Charles McCarthy Jr. He was in the Marines and in the Army later. I don't know what that was all about. And he's in charge of the Ancient Honorable Artillery Company of Massachusetts. He's the 110th captain commanding.
310th.
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 310th commanding. So,
And you have the job for 1 year.
That's it.
That's it. And then you don't do another job. Too young to retire.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, where do you presently live now? I mean,
I just
so I'm sorry.
Okay.
In regards to being a member, do you have to live in Massachusetts or do you have to live in New England?
It's a very good question.
Yeah.
If you're in the 6 New England states, you are called a regular member.
Okay.
It's within traveling distance.
Okay.
If you're outside, you are called a out-of-state member. Or we have different types of members. We have regular members, which I'm a regular member.
Okay.
I now live in Rhode Island, believe it or not. Just recently, about 4 weeks.
Oh, okay.
But I'm originally from Dunstable, Mass, and I've been here all my life.
Right.
But we have right of descent members. Anyone who from 1636 to 1745 can prove that one of their relatives was a member, we let them in automatically.
No kidding.
Right of descent.
Oh, wow.
And we have right now about 189 right of descents. You know,
wow, that's interesting.
But they have to be certified by heredity and
yeah. No, understand.
So that's very exciting, and they meet us. They're coming. A number of them are coming to Washington on our trip, so this is a great time for them.
I mean, you've opened up this organization. It was always white Anglo-Saxon Protestants, and now it's opened up to everyone. Which
we 5 years ago we voted in women.
It's about time.
It's about time.
Yeah.
And we have 3 great lieutenant colonels from the National Guard who joined us, and they're very active and help us.
They're probably better than the men.
Well, they have better perspective.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, we're men's old boys.
Yeah.
This year, I'm very excited because I asked a sergeant from the National Guard who's a member to be one of my sergeants. And she is, and this is history because we've never had one hold office before.
Right.
And now she.
In regards to your hat, let's show you a hat. I don't know if you can see the hat, but it has a red lining, which is artillery. In the military, you could tell who's artillery, who's infantry, and everything. And that red band means artillery unit.
It does.
But even though it was a rifle company.
Yes, it does. And we have 2 sides of our company. We have the infantry side, and we have the artillery side.
I'd rather be on the infantry side.
Well, you don't get they're all the same red.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately, it's all the same red. But I agree with you. But in the 2 units, the infantry unit is what we call gold boards.
Okay.
Gold boards are officers, people who were elected or appointed officers. In the artillery side, it's red boards. And these are people who are, think of them as enlisted men and women.
Yeah.
They will run for office, paymaster, quartermaster, all those stuff. Food master or whatever they call that guy. And if they get elected, you have to be elected. They can go to gold board. Now it costs you money to go to gold board, of course. You got to buy the belt, you got to buy the hat, you got to buy everything.
I see. It's interesting. Yeah. What I want to know, I just want to let people know that your organization started in 1636, that Chelmsford, Massachusetts was incorporated in 1655. So there might have been members from Chelmsford at one time.
Oh, yes.
I mean, I'd have to do the research on that.
We're 1,000 members, and we've always been 1,000 members. And we
so you're looking for members?
Well, we're always looking for good members, people who want to come in and make a contribution.
And there's an app online.
There is,
you can fill it out, send it in.
Yes, ahac.us.com. So that's the website.
Right.
It has all the photographs from the last 15 years there of all the events we do and where we go, and you can get a great history of the company. And people are amazed. It is Massachusetts' best kept secret. Matter of fact, we just registered our museum with the museums of the United States, and the Smithsonian. I talked to them, and they couldn't believe who we were because they never heard of us.
Wow, see, that's why you have to get out there. And after going to Washington, D.C., people will hear of you and probably want to join.
Well, they'll say, who are those people in those different uniforms?
Yeah, but I'm glad you came on our show before you went to Washington, because I probably won't be able to get you on the show again. Because
I'll come back and give you an update of what we did.
That's fine. I'd be more than happy.
Sure.
I want to have you back and talk about your experiences in Vietnam.
Oh, I've been around.
Yeah, so we could talk about that, but I want the Vietnam story. Thank you for being here.